Hello, I'm Mary Goen. I've done a ton of reading. A lot of us have. There's a lot to be read. And one day I was just doing some fun reading, and I stumbled into the Constitution of the state of Rhode Island. Some beautiful reading, wonderful things. Article 1, Section 17, they're talking about the people enjoying the state. And they say, they shall be secure in their rights to the use and enjoyment of the natural resources of the state, with due regard for the preservation of their values, and it shall be the duty of the General Assembly to provide for the conservation of the air, land, water, plant, animal, mineral, and other natural resources of the state, and to adopt all means necessary and proper by law to protect the natural environment of the people of the state by providing adequate resource planning for the control and regulation of the use of the natural resources of the state and for the preservation, regeneration, restoration of the natural environment of the state. That's the law of our state. We don't answer to the governor or the state boards. This is it. This is the rules. You guys answer to this. You have a duty to uphold this. These resources are protected for our people. This location, though it has a convenient gas pipeline and some super convenient recently placed upgraded power lines, it's not appropriate by any means. The natural resources that you lose by choosing this location, that's unforgivable, and I would say illegal. You can't do it. You have a duty to protect it. You really do. A lot of people touched on this process. We've been through this process. We are this process at this point. We have spent so much time going to all these meetings, reading, sharing, hosting social media pages, everything we can. And we've seen red flag after red flag come up, and they're almost glossed over. It's insulting to us. We bring it up, we ask, and there's still so much that's just being overlooked. If 6 of the advisory opinions came back saying, we don't have the information to give you our full report, that's half. You have to say there's a big problem. We can't rule on something that we don't have the full picture of. Our town, I went to all the planning board and zoning board meetings. They pushed and pushed and said, look, we need this information. And this company, they would give us vague answers. They would give us promises of answers, but they didn't give us the answers. It's almost a running joke. What size trucks are going to come through our town? It's regular size trucks. We asked a very specific question. We needed that information. We have intersections that we need to know about before this is approved so we can properly address it if this goes in. And they couldn't even give us the trucks. This is basic information. Regular stuff, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And there's gaps everywhere. So when we say the missing information at this point in the process is means for dismissal, that is absolute truth. It is too late in the game. The process was designed to give adequate time to look at all of the issues, to do the studies, to have all of these meetings, so all the right questions could be asked and all the data collected appropriately before you guys rule. And it's still missing, so much missing. You can't overlook that. They can't get away with, oh, it'll be okay. It's within regulatory standards. And no backup data. Our air guys, they couldn't give us the answer. I asked a very specific question about the height of Buck Hill in relation to the height of the emissions towers. I asked it when the governor came. I asked it when the Department of Health came. Because it's a very serious issue for the people living on top of Buck Hill. And yet, where's the answer? The only answer we were given was by Invenergy's hired expert experts. These people make their living with this company. So they gave us a canned answer within regulation. It's fine. I'm going to leave you with the copy of the Constitution, which you guys have to answer to. That's your job. I'm also going to give you a little info about Ocean State Power. They have had an oil leak, almost 10,000 gallons. They have had an acidic vapor cloud, which caused an evacuation of 50 residents about. They were caught stealing water from Uxbridge that caused local wells there to run dry. They have an enormous compliance and enforcement history containing serious violation after serious violation, non-compliance. Their Clean Air Act, current compliance status, violations. Clean Water Act, current compliance status, serious violations. When your job is done, the town is left with these facilities. This facility is breaking all of the regulations put in place, and we're living with them. They have had all those accidents that we're afraid of, and we lived with them. We see the water trucks going through our town, flooding our roads during a drought, causing traffic problems. We live with them. They took us to court. We faced legal battles with them. This is what our town is left with. We don't, as a town, have the right to make this decision, but we have the 30 to 40 to however many years thereafter to live with this decision. And we're living with it, and nobody's stopping this. If you're going to approve these facilities, you need to put a fail-safe in to stop them when they're in non-compliance quarter after quarter after quarter, because it's not okay. Our town shouldn't have to keep dealing with this and to deal with it on multiple facilities. I'm sure you're aware of the Algonquin noise issues we have. I've called the police. I live over a mile away. This is our life. We live with these problems. The missing information, it can't be mitigated at this point. There's no more time to look at this. It's not fair. You can't have an empty application, okay? Thank you.